Right, good morning, guys. Welcome to your unique devotion for the day. So, today is Servants' Day, the last day that I'll get to work with them for a little while. Um, I can only take so many days off of work in order to do that. So, the last couple of weeks, every Tuesday, I've gone to work with servants, and they work with homeowners of elderly, single moms, people with disabilities, to work and fix primarily safety issues, leaky roofs, holes in the floors, um, leaking windows, um, sometimes painting, sometimes outdoor things, some yard cleanup. Sometimes, some of the elderly people, they end up they're by themselves and they can't get stuff done, and some because of fixed income can't afford it. So servants does some awesome stuff like that. They step in and they lend lend a hand. They help each other out. That's the most important part. Really, is just being there for them and helping them and showing them that there are people that want to help and that do care about their livelihood, even more so than the work that's done. They also, servants, they also do a lot of missionary work. They have missionaries in Guatemala, and they even go down south when there's major disasters, and they try to set up teams to do that. So they're not just local, they're primarily a local organization, but they also spread their wings to really help others as much as they can. And they continue every year to be able to grow and help more and more and more people, which is really awesome. So now that I've kind of did that little pitch for servants, today we are in 2nd Thessalonians chapter 1, and I'm just going to read verses 3 through 5 of God's final judgment and glory. And here's the question first. So think about this while I'm reading here, while you're listening. Where is your patience and faith? Okay? Where is your patience and faith? All right, so here we go. Here's the scripture. We are bound to thank God always for you, brethren, as it is fitting, because your faith grows exceedingly, and the love of every one of you all abounds toward each other, so that we ourselves boast of you among the churches of God, for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that you endure, which is manifest evidence of the righteous judgment of God, that you may be counted worthy of the kingdom of God, for which you also suffer. So I'm going to stop. It's kind of mid-sentence, but I'm going to stop there. It rolls into verse 6. So he says, for your patience and faith. And it's not your patience and faith in the good times. It's patience and faith in your persecutions and tribulations. So everyone, to some extent, has some kind of trial. Maybe we're not being persecuted. Maybe we're not going through a great tribulation in our life where everything's just getting turned upside down. But we all go through little struggles throughout the day in our minds, dealing with situations and people, in our hearts, dealing with situations and people, and many trials are just little stepping stones that we go through every day that hopefully we're starting to grasp that that's all they are, that they're just trials, they're just small persecutions, small tribulations, so that if we come across the big one, we already have a strong foundation of patience and faith to get through the big things. As I've mentioned before, I'm working through school, and one of my classes right now is globalization, and one of my tasks is to write a paper on a non-governmental organization that works for human rights throughout the world. And I came across there's a couple that were given to me to try to use as talking to different people and asking around. and I came across Amnesty International. And if you get a chance, go on to Amnesty, Amnesty, I think I got that right, international.org, amnestyinternational.org, and see what kind of work they do all over the world to help free people from their human rights being taken away in so many situations. These people are having peaceful protests against their governments and are being arrested and then jailed for months or years at a time over something small. Like, they didn't even murder anyone. You know, they're in jail just as long as murder, sometimes longer. There's one gentleman who is up for a peace prize, a Nobel Peace Prize, and he ended up being jailed for writing a paper about how the government could be better. For 11 years he was jailed. That's a persecution. That is a tribulation. That's extreme. And not all of us have those extreme things, but I encourage you, if your life seems rough and horrible right now, go to amnestyinternational.org, take some time, a good strong half hour, and just look around their website and see what people really have to deal with in this world, and how there are human rights being upturned and destroyed every single day. It might put yours in perspective that either, wow, I'm on the same page, maybe I should call Amnesty International and get some help, or that maybe your trial and tribulation isn't that bad and maybe you can work through it. Because there's so many stories of victories where this organization, Amnesty International, has been able to overcome the laws and rules of other countries based off of a sort of global human rights initiative, and have been able to, even though it might not be within a day or weeks, instead of 11-year sentence, only end up with a 1-year sentence, and get them out of jail, get them out of the persecution, get them out of the country sometimes. So there's a lot of those stories. So I throw that out there. So there's two things. Servants, I talked about at the beginning, and was some of the wonderful things they do. Amnesty International, it's something I'm researching right now for a paper, and that really puts in perspective when I'm reading this chapter right here. It's just like I can think of that, what they're doing and what the apostles went through, and kind of put them hand in hand to in a deeper way understand what's going on here, and help me to work through patience in my life and having faith. So I said in the beginning, I'll say at the end, where is your patience and faith? I hope that God gives you all the blessings you deserve, and even more so, all the blessings you don't deserve. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. We will continue 2 Thessalonians. That's a tongue twister, chapter 1, and I'll read a little bit more of this section, and we'll break open the God question. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.